Tonight, the latest after a standoff from downtown last night, what officials are saying now.
Plus, is Russia making moves to officially declare war against Ukraine? That answer just ahead.
Also ahead, a bombshell report from Politico, what to expect now after a draft opinion was leaked from the Supreme Court.
WTOP 10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening, and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Jose Ramirez.
And I'm Hayden Wentworth.
That bombshell report from Politico revealed where the Supreme Court stands on abortion.
That's right, Jose. Reactions from that leaked 98-page long Supreme Court opinion draft indicates a majority of justices are ready to overturn Roe v. Wade. Karen Kaffa reports from Washington on what it means for the court and many Americans as well.
President Joe Biden describing a draft opinion by the Supreme Court that would overturn Roe v. Wade as radical.
It would mean that every other decision relating to the notion of privacy is thrown into question.
The Supreme Court has confirmed the authenticity of the document published by Politico Monday night, a draft of a majority opinion in Dobbs v. Jackson Women's Health Organization, a case regarding Mississippi's law banning most abortions after 15 weeks. The case is a direct challenge to the precedent established in Roe v. Wade in 1973 and affirmed in Planned Parenthood v. Casey in 1992. The government cannot interfere with an individual's choice to terminate a pregnancy before viability outside the womb at about 23 weeks. A right protected under the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. The draft, written by conservative Justice Samuel Alito, describes the reasoning in Roe as exceptionally weak. On Capitol Hill, Senate Democrats, without enough votes to codify the right to an abortion into law, laying blame for the potential reversal.
Women in this country are paying for the fact that the Republicans have basically sabotaged the Supreme Court.
While Republicans critical of how the draft came to light.
This lawless action should be investigated and punished.
Chief Justice John Roberts said in a statement he has ordered an investigation. The Supreme Court said Tuesday the document is not a final opinion. The highly anticipated opinion is expected to be among the last issued this term in late June or July. In Washington, I'm Karen Kaffa.
Many public figures have reacted, such as Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, vowing to vote to protect the abortion rights bill. On the other side, figures like Ted Cruz say whoever leaked the document should be in jail. And here at home, a SUNY Oswego Associate Professor of Political Science says this outlook from the court was a long time coming. Helen Knowles says the shift of court opinion on abortion has been up for discussion since the 70s. Additionally, she emphasizes the importance of not pushing the blame on anyone in particular.
We knew this was coming down the pike. A degree of inevitability, the way that the court has been shifting over the last 50 years. Republicans cared more about overturning Roe versus Wade than Democrats did about protecting it.
Knowles adds that such a decision could bring an even larger change, not just to abortion, but other civil liberties as well. Governor
Kathy Hochul also gave her opinion on the leak, saying she is horrified by the draft. She says she's joining other governors that are calling on Congress to take immediate action to protect abortion rights for the sake of all women across the country. She also had more to say on what New York would do if the Supreme Court repeals Roe v. Wade.
I refuse to go backwards. I refuse to go backwards, and that's exactly the specter of what we're looking at when it comes to our fight for abortion rights. So, my promise is that here in the state of New York, we will not stand idly by. Anyone who needs care, we welcome you with open arms.
Additionally, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell is calling the leak lawless. He's a part of many calling for an immediate investigation of the incident.
Among all of this, today, Governor Kathy Hochul appointed Antonio Delgado as Lieutenant Governor. She made this announcement on social media, tweeting out, "I look forward to working with him to usher in a new era of fairness, equity, and prosperity for communities across the state. We share a belief in working together to get things done for New Yorkers, and Representative Delgado has an incredible record of doing just that in Congress." His appointment comes after the arrest and resignation of Brian Benjamin.
Now, school may be getting ready to let out for summer, and now is the time to thank teachers for everything they've done, because this week is Teacher Appreciation Week. The past 2 years have been tough, according to many teachers around the nation. They've worked tirelessly to prepare online lesson plans and kept kids safe in classrooms. We spoke to one student who says he's grateful for his teacher throughout the years, citing one in particular along the way.
Teachers have played an influential role in my life, really. Up until about 11th grade, I was always one who hated school. I was not anywhere, wanting to be anywhere around a school. But it changed in 11th grade. My English teacher really took me under my wing.
National Teacher Appreciation Week ends Friday, May 6th.
Switching gears to some local crime now, an Oswego man was arrested and charged Monday after a standoff occurred in downtown Oswego. 39-year-old Marcus Miller was charged with robbery in the first degree, criminal possession of a weapon, and endangering the welfare of a child. The police had to negotiate with Miller for 9.5 hours before he exited the residence. This is currently an ongoing investigation. If you have any information regarding this, you can contact investigator James Ladd at 315-236-4854. That number is on your screen.
Mayor Barlow has announced that the city's road paving project commences tomorrow. The city of Oswego has contracted with Richelli Northern to complete the over $1 million worth of milling and paving work throughout Oswego, with a large portion taking place within the east side, near the Oswego Country Club tomorrow morning, and the entire project is expected to take 4 to 6 weeks.
And speaking of those roads, according to AAA, today's national average price for a gallon of gas is now $4.19, an increase by 7 cents from last week in New York State. The average price for a gallon of gas is $4.35, an increase by 12 cents from last week. In Oswego, we're seeing an almost 10-cent increase from last week.
Russian President Vladimir Putin could formally declare war on Ukraine as soon as May 9th. Known as Victory Day in Russia. The move could unleash Russia's full military reserves as its invasion of Ukraine continues to falter. Gloria Pazmino has more.
Reunited at last. Evacuees from Mariupol's embattled Azovstal steel plant arrived in Zaporizhzhia by the busloads Tuesday. It's part of an ongoing effort to rescue thousands of Ukrainian civilians from the besieged city of Mariupol. While some arrived to safety, tensions remain high back at the steel plant where hundreds of civilians and soldiers remain. A commander for Ukrainian soldiers said heavy shelling continues at the complex.
We get civilians out of the rubble with ropes. It's the elderly, women, and children.
Meanwhile, U.S. and Western officials believe Russian President Vladimir Putin is one step closer to formally declaring war on Ukraine as soon as May 9th, known as Russia's Victory Day, commemorating the Russian defeat of the Nazis in 1945.
We've seen the Russians really double down on their propaganda efforts, probably, almost certainly, as a means to distract from their tactical and strategic failures on the battlefield in Ukraine.
An official declaration of war would allow Putin to fully mobilize Russia's reserve forces as efforts to take territory in the east and south continue to falter and manpower dwindles.
They have not achieved really any of the strategic objectives that Mr. Putin set out for, and the Ukrainians are fighting back stiffly, bravely, nimbly, skillfully.
I'm Gloria Pazmino reporting.
Russian forces have lost at least 15,000 soldiers since the beginning of the war and will need reinforcements to achieve their goals in Ukraine.
President Biden has visited the Lockheed Martin plant in Troy, Alabama today to celebrate the plant's work in assembling Javelin weapons systems that are being sent over to Ukraine. At a press conference in Troy, Alabama, the president asserts that the United States' current Lend-Lease program with Ukraine is good for the American worker.
Being the arsenal of democracy also means good-paying jobs for American workers. In Alabama and the states all across America where defense equipment is manufactured and assembled, 265 people here at this plant are directly employed working on the Javelin program. All told, Lockheed Martin has brought nearly 3,000 jobs to Alabama.
This comes alongside President Biden's Buy American bill, which affects American defense manufacturers.
Thousands of immigrants in the United States will automatically have their work permits extended for at least 6 more months. The Department of Homeland Security says that the move is to address the backlog of renewals. and the process often takes years to complete. The new rule is intended to try to keep immigrants from losing their jobs as they await approval. Without renewals, employers have to terminate the workers that could further disrupt the supply chain in the U.S. The new regulation takes effect Wednesday. Coming up later tonight, the rising cost of an American milestone.
And a new study on health effects of a life-changing surgery. Stay tuned. You're watching WTOP 10.
But first, let's take a quick look at the weather with Storm Team 10 meteorologist David Rienzo. David, will this beautiful weather stick around for a while?
You know, for the next 24 hours, you can expect to see some rain, so I wouldn't say beautiful weather, but still not disastrous. However, if you can make it through the next 24 hours of rain, you will be rewarded with some beautiful sunny weather alongside some high temperatures. I'll go into more detail after the break. Stick around.
Now it is time for Black Card Revoke. Like, what's this apology about now?
At least that's what I feel like. I don't know. I thought it was cute. You know?
I thought it was too.
Yeah, like, definitely. Okay, so what about this black lace ensemble? You did a little song.
Yeah, I see it.
You did a little something.
Yes.
I'm
gonna figure it out though. But it won't be
Breathe to the swag.
Yeah.
And I'm Donna. And this is the Sunset Show. Grab your low-rise jeans because we're taking it back to the 2000s. Let's go, girls. Uggs and low-rise jeans. Together.
One of the boys. Boy.
Sorry, it's my agent. He told me that you're canceled.
Shebangy.
Welcome back to the Kind of Lake Show, where we talk about anything and everything going on in our lives and yours.
Well, my birthday was November 13th, so it's been quite some time.
I think at the end we saw who get up.
I get that. I can't.
It's a winner, and I did bring a sweater for everyone.
There you go! I know your dreams. You started the paper throwing, just the immaturity. You lost before you even argued.
Pretty insane that the Clippers, 10 of the last 11 postseasons, they're in there.
Hey, welcome back. I'm meteorologist David Rienzo. Before I take a look at the weather, I just want to go over the truth of an old adage you may have heard. The adage is, red in the morning, sailors take warning. Red at night, sailors delight. Now what this is saying is if you see red sky during the morning, you will probably expect to see some storms. However, if you see them at night, you may not. So just to go over the truth of this, basically what you've got is at sunrise, the sun is in the east and the storm will be moving from west to east. As this happens, light is being scattered by the atmosphere and being reflected off of the storm, and as a viewer of the storm, you'll probably be seeing a red sky. Now that will mean that the storm is approaching, so as the day continues, you'll be seeing some wet weather or a storm to come. However, on the opposite end, during sunset, the sun is on the west and the storm will be moving still from the west to the east, but it'll be on the opposite side of the sun. So again, the light will be scattered into the atmosphere. You'll be getting a red sky reflected back at you off of the storm. This will mean the storm is retreating and you will not be seeing any sun. So outcome on this, mainly true. It doesn't necessarily 100% happen all the time, but it's a good rule of thumb. So taking a look at the satellite right now, this is a nice cold front moving in as the night will progress. That will be the rain that you'll be seeing. The rain you'll be seeing as the night continues. This is your current satellite, which is the rain you are seeing right now. That's the wet weather you'll be expecting most of tonight. As I said, rain and most of tonight. You can also expect to see a slight chance of thunderstorms continuing into tomorrow morning. But for now, you'll be seeing that 56-degree temperatures with southeast wind. Going into tomorrow, very wet weather. You've got fog moving in the morning, which should roll out as the afternoon continues. However, after that, you'll be seeing the sun drying it out, and you'll be seeing a lot of rain tomorrow as well. Very wet weather, as I mentioned, but you can also see 50-degree temperatures and dropping off as the temperatures go down. 7-day forecast. Just going to leave this here, but you're basically seeing a lot of sun, a lot of nice weather, summer temps. Back to the desk.
Thank you, David. In our Consumer Watch Now, millions of Americans struggle with obesity, but a recent study suggests weight loss surgery may help lower some of those risks. Mandy Gaither has more on the findings in today's Health Minute.
Heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and some cancers, all leading causes of early preventable death in the U.S. and conditions facing millions of Americans who are obese.
A lot of patients with obesity try several things to lose weight, lifestyle modifications, various medications, and the success rate is limited.
A study published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology studied Medicare beneficiaries who were obese and underwent weight loss surgery. Researchers found the surgery was linked to a significantly lower risk of heart attack, new onset heart failure, stroke, even death. Cleveland Clinic cardiologist Dr. Amgad Mentius is the study's lead author.
There is evidence that the effects of obesity on our body is reversible when patients undergo metabolic surgery, when they lose the weight and keep it off and lead a healthy lifestyle.
Mentius says the results were consistent among all patients studied, whether the person had diabetes or not, and regardless of age. He says even those between the ages of 65 and 75 saw benefits from weight loss surgery, though it's often deemed inappropriate for that age group.
They have an option, and this option is safe and also is very effective in reducing their weight and also in reducing the future risk of having adverse cardiovascular outcomes.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The researchers say keeping the weight off through a healthy lifestyle after bariatric surgery is key to lowering health risks.
Researchers at St. Michael's Hospital of Unity Health, Toronto, released a study looking at how diet affects childhood development. It found that children eating a vegetarian diet and children who ate meat were similar in terms of growth, height, and nutritional measures. However, kids who ate a plant-based diet tended to be thinner. The study looked at data from nearly 9,000 children between 6 months and 8 years old.
Popeyes announces a new addition to their menu. As part of their ongoing rivalry known as the Chicken Wars between Popeyes and rival chains such as McDonald's, the new item is called the Buffalo Ranch Chicken Sandwich. It's the classic chicken sandwich, but with a new sauce that's mixed with buttermilk ranch and spicy buffalo. The sandwich will only be available for a limited time.
The National Association of Realtors says homes got even pricier and harder to afford in most U.S. cities in the first quarter of 2022. The group says of 185 metro areas tracked, 70% saw double-digit growth in median home prices compared to the same quarter a year before. Overall, the median price of a single-family home in the U.S. was just over $368,000 in the first quarter, up 15.7% from a year earlier.
Now for a quick sports tease with sports anchor Hunter Truman.
What's coming up, Hunter?
Well, today was a packed day for Oswego sports. The Lakers baseball team faced off against a ranked opponent, and the women's lacrosse team took on Oneonta in the SUNYAC playoffs. I'll let you know how both of these teams did when we come back.
Hi, I'm Megan.
And I'm Donna.
And this is the Sunset Show. Grab your low-rise jeans because we're taking it back to the 2000s.
Let's go, girls.
Uggs and low-rise jeans.
Together.
One of the boys. Boy.
Sorry, it's my agent. He told me that you're canceled.
Shebangy, shebangy, shebangy.
Welcome to the burial ground. Must see also in all of sports entertainment.
and everything going on in our lives and yours.
Well, my birthday was November 13th, so it's been quite some time.
I think at the end we saw him get up.
I get that. I can't.
He's a winner, and I did bring a sweater for everyone.
There you go! I know your dreams. You started the paper throwing, just the immaturity. You lost before you even argued.
Pretty insane that the Clippers, 10 of the last 11 postseasons, they're in there.
Welcome back to WTOP Nightly News. I'm Hunter Truman with your Tuesday Sports Report. Starting off with some playoff lacrosse, the Oswego women's team headed off to Oneonta today to take on the number 4 seeded Red Dragons. And ladies and gentlemen, this was a good one, as both teams went back and forth throughout the first half, with Oneonta holding on to a slim 7-6 advantage. Though early into the fourth quarter, the Red Dragons began to pull away, taking a 13-9 lead, thanks to 3 goals in the half by attackman Tessa Hughes. Oswego managed to put up a fight in the end, but Oneonta would end up winning 14-12, knocking the Lakers out of the playoffs. Though, again, great season by the Lakers, managing to make it there. Now over to baseball, where the Lakers took on the challenge of playing number 20th ranked St. John Fisher earlier today. Things got started earlier for Oswego as they put up a 4-run inning with the help of Jacob Levine, who homered to give the team 3 of their runs. Cardinals would slowly creep up on Oswego, though, as they took a 6-5 lead at the end of the 7th, thanks to Ben Laverly, who hit a 3-run shot of his own. But the Lakers got things going in their half of the 7th and 8th, scoring 5 runs. And that would end up being the difference as the Lakers get the massive win, 10-8. Oswego now moves up to 25-8 on the season. Moving over to the NFL, one of, if not the best receivers in the league, will not be playing the first third of next year's season. This comes after the NFL announced Monday that DeAndre Hopkins violated the league's policy on performance-enhancing drugs. Hopkins brand manager Doug Sanders stated that the wide receiver did not knowingly take any of these banned substances. However, a substance may have entered his body during his rehab process last year when he only started 10 games due to injury. The Cardinals traded their first-round pick in last week's draft for Marquise Brown, who may end up being Hopkins' replacement in the meantime. Now over to Major League Baseball, where a player that knows a lot about New York was designated for assignment. Robinson Cano was dropped from the Mets' Major League roster yesterday after all teams had to drop their rosters from 28 to 26 players. Cano was struggling this season, posting a 195 batting average with only 3 RBIs through 49 plate appearances. The 8-time All-Star has been a member of the Mets since 2019 and was also on the Yankees from 2005 to 2013, helping them win a World Series championship in 2009. While his time in New York may be over, Cano still remains positive that he'll play again at the Major League level. And speaking of the Yankees, we've got some highlights as they played the Blue Jays last night in an AL East showdown. Starting off in the 4th, the runner on first, Gleyber Torres smacks a ball into right field and it goes over. And the Yankees get started here in the 4th, taking a 2-0 lead. Gleyber Torres going oppo taco there and getting the Yankees started off. Now as we head into the bottom half of the inning, Bo Bichette drills the ball to left field and makes his way into the corner. You can see here George Springer is going to be hustling his way around the bases, and he ends up scoring to cut the lead in half. Bichette ends up on second base as he gets the RBI double here. As you can see here, celebrating as he gets the double. Now a couple batters later, Bichette now on third. Matt Chapman rips one up the middle by the diving Torres. Bichette comes in and easily scores to take the Blue Jays to tie it up here 2-2. Now we go to the top of the 9th. Runners in scoring position as Gleyber Torres goes to right once again. This time a single, but a big one, as Tim LeCastro rounds third and was sliding into home to give the Yankees the 3-2 lead. Big day for Torres on the bat as he scores all 3 of Yankees' runs. Now to the bottom of the 9th, Chad Green with 2 outs gets Raimel Tapia to pop up. It stays in the air for a while, but eventually Judge makes the catch to finish off the Yankees' win 3-2. The Yankees move to 17-6 on the season and extend their AL East lead over the Blue Jays by 2.5 games. And that will do it for your Tuesday Sports Report. Stick around for a special announcement here on WTOP Nightly News.
Kinda late show with Chloe and Anna. Like licorice, Twizzlers, absolutely nasty.
The thought of turkey is just nauseating.
I think you're wrong, is what I think.
You think I'm wrong a lot of time.
I do think you're wrong a lot.
Look at that, it's so sad.
Here's our weather elements and our social media on Saturday. And that's all.
Welcome back, everyone. We have some exciting news. Jose.
That's right. Oswego alumnus Al Roker returns for an interview on Out on Your Own Oswego. He will be speaking with the hosts Justin Clint and Zachary Nuzumov as Al Roker talks about his experiences as a student at Oswego. That's our report for tonight. Be sure to stay tuned for Sports Talk.
Only on WTOP.
DiCarlo on the rebound! Alex DiCarlo!
Yeah, it's been a wild game so far. A lot of high scoring, so definitely tighten it up and play out that full 60 minutes.
Welcome back to the best show on WTOP 10, Out on Our Own Oswego.
Did you hear that Bad Bunny's going to be in Canada over spring break, you know?
I heard that one.
Drake Collins, the week.
Oh, wow.
Roll it. The Kinda Late show with Chloe and Anna. Like licorice, Twizzlers, absolutely nasty.
The thought of turkey is just nauseating.
I think you're wrong, is what I think.
You think I'm wrong a lot of time.